In this edition of Idle Gossip, terminally typecast, heavy metal makeovers. Hey Jude, what's it all about? Who says you can't have it all? The current crop of 30-something actresses at the top of the heap have husbands, careers, and a very busy few have growing little ones too. How do they do it? Obviously there's a nanny in the wings or a very large trailer on the set with childcare facilities. These women insist on kids and career. And for some, having a baby has also given birth to the busiest time of their careers. Sarah Jessica Parker and husband Matthew Broderick married nearly a decade ago, and their plans to have a family went slightly off course with the success of Sarah's TV sitcom Sex and the City and Matthew's long-running roles on Broadway. Their careers hit all-time highs, and Sarah was given the green light by her show's producers. Not for a new project, but to have a baby. Sarah's pregnancy was written into the show, and she gave birth to son James. The ladies with celebrity often make it to the top and then retire to have babies. Cindy Crawford has a reputation full of achievement. She was valedictorian of her Illinois high school class, the most recognised and highest paid model in the world, and first supermodel to pose for Playboy. Now Cindy is a super mother with 2 children. Her modelling career may be on its wane, but her business acumen has never been sharper, owning part of the Planet Hollywood franchise and her own production company, reportedly worth over $35 million. Marrying into a Hollywood dynasty caused a backlash of tabloid nastiness for Catherine Zeta-Jones. After marrying Michael Douglas, she was branded a trophy wife. This Welsh-born prize with the sultry looks has since made Michael Douglas a father twice, starred in a string of hit movies, and won an Oscar, increasing her star power again and again, as well as adding to the list of Douglas clan members. She certainly wins in the having it all stakes. Four Oscar nominations over a 5-year period will surely keep Julianne Moore in the top directors' minds, but they must be prepared to provide childcare facilities on the set.
It's always tough to juggle it, but I wouldn't have it any other way. I feel very fortunate that I have my children and that I have a job.
Julianne only works when she can have her son Cal close by. His presence, however, doesn't affect the roles she chooses. Cal was on the set for Boogie Nights, where she played an X-rated movie star, and The Big Lebowski, which contained Julianne in a nude scene. Reese Witherspoon only commits to making 1 movie per year and is lucky enough to have hands-on husband and father Ryan Philippe tending to daughter Ava and son Deacon when she's working. Whenever either is working on location, they move the whole family and set up house nearby. In an interview, however, Ryan admitted the couple sought couples counselling in the past, thus dispelling the myth that they were the perfect couple.
It's not about winning, Sebastian.
Please stop.
It's okay, you can laugh.
And revealing their normality as young parents who happen to be movie stars. Show business couples naturally have show business lives, which echo the fact that these families are rarely what most would perceive as normal. And now our regular feature on how to appear in public, the Fashion Police. What we need in Fashion Police is a bit of sophistication. I wonder who's inside the roles, royalty or a superstar? Oh look, it's 50 Cent, draped in his own line of rap couture known as G-Unit. He's wearing a t-shirt and jeans. There goes my hope for a bit of class in this edition. Later, 50 Cent. Let's try again. It's Paris up to her usual publicity-grabbing tricks. This isn't gonna be my day. What a nice red frock. This little lady knows how to say it all with colour. And she's pushing her new perfume. How dreary. Don't tell me she's gonna sing. Get me to a premiere. That's more like it. We're sure to get some decent fashion here. Maybe not. Hi, girls. That's a pretty gown, Michelle Trachtenberg. Did your mother make it for you? She did a nice job with her rollers too, sweetie. But go a bit lighter on the makeup next time, Angel. There's a pet. And co-starring with Michelle in Ice Princess is Hayden Panettiere. Lovely dress. Did your mother make it for you? A real premiere needs real stars. And Ashton Kutcher is there with sugar mummy Demi Moore. Ashton, velvet coat? Nice and now. Did your mother make it for you? I mean, did Demi make it for you? Bernie Mac, as funky as all get out in this Superfly gold jacket with matching hat. He even bought his date, Chris Rock. Where have you been hiding, Miss Tori Spelling? You've been holding on to that coat for years, just waiting for the right moment to dust it off and wear it again. Sorry to say, Tori, the right moment is never going to come around. Sandra Bullock does basic black with style, and at her own premiere, one would want to look fabulous. This proud Scot shows his true colours like never before. Ewan Mcgregor sports a plaid coat. Must be cold out there. You want to look stunning at the opening of a movie? Elle Macpherson has what many starlets lack: poise, style and grace. She's also got a clue or two about what's hot to wear to a premiere. Unlike Liz Hurley, who should know better. It's fabulous you've had a baby and you've bounced that body back into shape, but shouting it with that see-through number is really unnecessary. Stop the press. It's Julie Andrews. Isn't she beautiful? She's like royalty in that black velvet outfit. Sequins and sparkly bits were made for ladies who no longer wish to show a bit of skin. Catch my drift? Unfortunately, some just can't be helped, no matter how much skin or how many sequins one wears. Fashion police, over and out. James Bond likes his martinis shaken, not stirred. And we all know how we like our favourite movie stars. We like our Charlize pretty and sassy, our Richard dapper and sophisticated, our Julie clean-cut and wholesome, and our Sylvester brawny and begrudging. We have to face it sometime that our favourite stars are people too, who as performers want a little variety in their lives from time to time. And when an actor takes the risk of playing a character that goes against the public's expectations, it is known as breaking type. A huge transformation occurred when Charlize Theron played serial killer Aileen Wuornos in Monster.
I guess. I don't know, not really, no.
She put on weight and left her usual beauty and glamour far behind, winning an Academy Award for her efforts. Who would have thought this gorgeous creature could ever become this?
You look good. Yeah. Thanks.
In Charlize's case, there were cheers and adulation, and she's now considered much more than just a pretty face in Hollywood. Sometimes there's grudging acceptance. Tom Hanks shattered his nice guy image playing a murderous criminal in Road to Perdition. But it is clear Tom's place in Hollywood, playing the part of everybody's hero, is how his audience prefers him. Graceful Julie Andrews became fed up with her nicer-than-nice image and was delighted when her husband, movie maker Blake Edwards, cast her in his 1981 satire, S.O.B. Playing a goody-goody actress who makes a musical that flops and is then reshot as an adult film, the movie included a topless scene of Ms. Andrews herself. At the time, the news of Julie's bare-chested scene was scandal as Mary Poppins nuded up for the cameras. Now it's in that grudging acceptance category. Sure, she did it, but most would rather watch the movies that show our Julie practically perfect in every way.
You may come in one at a time.
Sometimes there's flat-out rejection when a well-known celebrity decides to change from one type of movie role to another. Sly Stallone attempted to break out of muscle grudge roles like his Rambo and Rocky characters with the comedy Stop or My Mum Will Shoot, which he admits to being his worst movie ever. Sly was only to be disappointed by the audience's lack of interest and has not to date attempted another swipe at the big laughs. Meg Ryan daringly took on the role of a sex-obsessed teacher complete with nude scenes for In the Cut. Critics applauded her, but Meg's adoring public couldn't stand the thought of their own America's sweetheart in such smut. The small movie only made back half its reported $12 million budget. A whopping flop for Meg, whose career has been sinking slowly over the years. Ironically, actors who continually give the public what it wants are often destined for lackluster careers, while those who dare to create something different and unexpected can earn acclaim and awards. In a world where there is no such word as excess, Leonardo DiCaprio has taken waste to the extreme. While filming Gangs of New York, he demanded to have new clothes daily, and then he threw the old ones out. Smoke on the water. It's the first thing a person plucks out when they pick up a guitar. But it doesn't sound quite right. That's not how I remember it from my 1970s album. Oh, it's an orchestra. It appears the latest rock Pinnacle is to perform a concert backed by a full symphony orchestra. No one ever thought old Rock Dog's Deep Purple would ever be accepted in good society. Now, with a full orchestra behind them, they not only sound sweeter, but they're also acceptable at London's Albert Hall. But only if they all wear clean shirts, have showers, and drink their bourbon from teacups. Members of orchestras rarely die prematurely of substance abuse, so perhaps it's all a ploy among these ageing rockers to make new musician friends who'll hang around them on Earth long enough for them to grow old and collect their pension checks together. Or do a set at the senior citizens clubs around town, picking up chicks of a similar age. Metallica have been rocking hard for over 2 decades, and surely their eardrums, if not other body parts, are starting to fail their owners. The addition of an orchestra sure beefs up the sound, but in a less jaw-clacking, eardrum-popping way. And nothing else matters. It's almost, dare I say, atmospheric. How can this be? Well, with the full power of an orchestra behind you, all you have to do is conduct a few hard gestures and the orchestra plays relaxed arrangements to go with your previously frantic and aggressive numbers. Sweet. Music is said to tame the savage beast, but this bunch of hairy, makeup-slathered rock gods have been at it for nearly 30 years, with little sign of slowing up. Yes, Kiss have taken the plunge and installed an orchestra into the crater that surrounds their onstage impact. Perhaps taste isn't dyed in the wool, and after decades of playing the devil's music, these guys fear for their mortal souls and are wishing to atone by trying to balance the scales with the music of the gods. They've even caked the orchestra in clown-strength Kiss makeup. It's weird. One may be amused or strangely disturbed to hear rock anthems that you equate with memories of wild parties now played on the flute and the oboe. But these guys are not far off traditional retirement age, so let them play while they can. They sure won't be able to get around looking like that in the nursing home.
Everybody should have one talent. What's yours?
It's not easy being a Brit in Hollywood. Period dramas and aristocratic villain roles come around only so often. But Jude Law has defied this sort of typecasting. With his pretty boy looks and cheeky attitude, it's no wonder casting execs have taken to him. This actor is in demand.
Shut up! Shut!
Jude's appeal is broad and his talent just as apparent. His 20s were filled with stage roles in the UK. One play was so successful, it transferred to Broadway. Thus began his film career. Broadway put him on the map, and a subsequent Tony Award nomination attracted the offers of such directors as Clint Eastwood, who cast Jude in his classy drama Midnight in the Garden of Good and Evil. Jude was also noted for his role opposite Ethan Hawke and Uma Thurman in Gattaca.
I feel a serious urge to kill someone here.
Do it. It's just a game.
Jude's climb to the top was fast, but in the rush of the late 90s, found time to marry fellow actress Sadie Frost, with whom he had 3 children. Just because he's a pretty boy doesn't mean he capitalises on his angelic appearance all the time. Even though he played the camp and cutesy pleasure robot Gigolo Joe in AI, Jude often roughens up his look for different characters.
It's us, you know. The humans, they'll stop at nothing.
So much time has passed.
While shooting Cold Mountain with Nicole Kidman, Jude reportedly only returned to see his wife for only 4 days over the entire shoot. When the movie was over, so was the marriage.
Joseph Sullivan. I was sure you'd be dead by now.
Always seemingly chipper and ready for anything,
There's an expression the Yanks use, go with the flow.
Jude started single life afresh with a fling that got serious on the set of Alfie. The new lady in his life? His co-star in the remake, Sienna Miller. On screen, Jude Law has appeared with the biggest names in show business, but he claims to not be seduced by the movie star lifestyle. Were it not for the paparazzi, whom he despises, we would seldom hear from him at all. As he turns out the great performances, we're sure this Brit will stay in the leading pack for some time to come.
How could a man ever choose to settle down with just one?
Blimey, I'm so rude. I haven't introduced myself. I'm...
Alfie.
I'm a blessed man.
Sharon Stone has many interesting and varied requests for her trailer on film locations. Our favourite, however, is that she expects movie bosses to pay around $3,000 a day to have her manicurist on hand to attend to Madam's nails. Being a part of any Hollywood dynasty is a mixture of agony and ecstasy, with careers going in opposite directions, family quarrels, allegations of nepotism, and often drug abuse. With much drama in their past is the Roberts clan. I'm referring to pretty woman Julia, and lurking about in her huge shadow, older brother Eric.
Absolutely. Okay.
Eric was applauded as a hot rising star and a gifted actor in the late 70s and early 80s. His influence led to Julia's first movie role, and, as is well known, for her, it was a fast ride to success.
He's really cute.
By the time she received her Oscar nomination for Steel Magnolias, Eric's star was fading, and it was whispered his dissatisfaction and jealousy had created a rift between the two.
I don't really care. Well, I mean, don't get me wrong, the money is real nice and all, but I just like the idea of growing old with somebody.
In recent interviews, Eric admitted to drug use that stemmed from unresolved family issues and the death of their father years earlier. Only cleaning up his act in the early 90s, Eric by this time had done much damage to the relationship with his sister through public bitching and sniping. Now Uncle Eric to Julia's twins, and claiming to have been sober for some years, Eric publicly hopes their rivalry can be put behind them. The Sheen family, headed by Martin, has not been mired by the wicked feuding. Nevertheless, sons Emilio and Charlie have had checkered careers. Martin, of course, as father, led the way in Hollywood, being one of the 70s most lauded actors, and now a regular cast member on The West Wing.
I knew that one.
By the 80s, Emilio entered show business but dropped his father's stage name, preferring to go under their family name of Estevez. A role in The Breakfast Club put Emilio smack in the middle of the renowned Brat Pack of young up-and-coming stars. Unfortunately, their 80s success was short-lived, as was Emilio's movie career.
I want you, pal, to fill out the missing picture.
Charlie, however, entered the fray in as an unknown. His good looks and charm led to many movie offers. As a leading man, he had the goods, but his substance abuse led to bad career choices and a bad reputation on the set. Charlie has staged several comebacks and often publicly jokes about his past as a party boy. The divorce of Charlie and Bond siren Denise Richards saw Dad Martin making press statements trying to hold the couple together and denying any wrongdoing on Charlie's behalf. As presidential as he appears, even this kind of divorce embargo meant little to Charlie's dissatisfied wife Denise, who allegedly claimed her soon-to-be ex-husband had reverted back to his old ways with the ladies of the night. Carrying their second child, Denise is sitting pretty to collect big time due to a prenuptial agreement forbidding Charlie to stray from the marital path. Perhaps Martin should exercise his fatherly right to administer a good whipping of his wayward son.